Hey, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this custom staircase for my BLOXBURG house that you've all seen on TikTok. Hey guys, welcome back. So if you follow me on TikTok, you will know that I posted this video a few days ago, kind of just showing off my favourite things in my BLOXBURG house. And one of these was this custom staircase that I made in my hallway, and all of you are really curious on how I actually make this. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how. So I've actually remade the staircase here. I did rush this, so it's not as perfect as the one in my house, but yours will be a bit better than this one. But yeah, I'm going to be showing you how I make the stairs and the banister and all of this, and you can customize this however you want. You can change the colors, and you can also kind of change the shape, because after I show you how I make this, you'll kind of understand how you can make your own and change the design. But for today's video, I'm just going to be sticking with this shape. So what you want to do is you want to do a 1-block wall like this, and then a diagonal one going across, and then a 2-block wall, and you can just paint that whatever color. I'm just going to keep it white. And next what you want to do is go into basic shapes and go into cube and get the cube, and we are just going to put this on small placement, and we are going to line this up with kind of the edge of the wall, and we are gonna drag it across so it fits the square and make it a bit smaller, and then make it a bit thinner too. And basically what you need to do is just make this the height of the step, so just make it however height you're happy with. And I'm just gonna color it white, and then I'm just gonna drag it back forward again. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna copy it and place another one on top. Then you want to drag it down to like the lowest it'll go, and drag it out so it sticks over the edge a bit, and drag out on this side so it sticks over the edge a bit. And then you want to color this top bit the color of your floor, and I'm just going to stick with the grey wood. Okay, so then you want to copy this whole thing and place it here and just separate it. And this is because we're just going to use this to kind of copy the bricks so we don't have to keep remaking them. So I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to place it next to the first one, and I'm going to move the height so it's a bit taller than this, because this is going to be the start of our steps. And then once you're happy with the height, you just want to copy this one again and place this one on top, and then you want to copy this again and you want to make a third step. So you just want to make it a tiny bit higher than the second step, and once again take this and put it on top. Now for the curve, what you want to do is you want to take one of these again, and you want to kind of just rotate it a bit, so kind of just like this. So it's not fully rotated so it's straight with the wall, it's kind of just a tiny bit slanted. So we're just going to put this here. We're going to change the height so it is a tiny bit higher than that one again, and we are going to put one of these on top, but we're going to rotate it so it fits like that. And as you can see, there's kind of a gap in between them, and what we're going to do to fill this gap is just copy the third step and just kind of place it in the gap, so then there's no gap anymore, like that. Next you want to copy this again, and this time you want to put it on medium placement and just rotate it until it is directly straight with the wall, and then put your placement back on small and line this up with the fourth step. Make this the same height as the fourth step and just drag it out a bit, but make sure it doesn't stick out. So you just want to make sure it perfectly lines up with that wall. Just going to rotate this and then put this here, and then you want to drag this out so it basically covers up all of this. And then I'm also going to drag this out as well a bit, and then I'm gonna move it back so it only sticks off the step a tiny bit, but it now covers that little triangle that was sticking out. It may glitch a bit, and honestly I don't really know how to fix that. If we take a look on this one was slightly higher so it didn't glitch. So basically what you want to do is kind of make one that's tiniest bit higher than the other one, and it should stop the glitching. So I'm just going to make it slightly higher, and I'm going to put this back on top, and it kind of sticks up a bit. It's not that noticeable, to be honest. Next we're going to copy one of these again, and we are going to slightly rotate this so it's not completely straight, and we are going to drag this all the way up here so it's slightly higher than the step. And then we're going to take one of these again and place it on here and rotate it. And from that you can kind of have a look and see if this lines up properly. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this quickly, and we're going to make this a tiny bit thinner like that, and then we're going to do the same with this. We're going to put it on top, and then we're going to make it a tiny bit thinner, and we are going to use this one to fill up the gap in here. So as you can see, there's no gap missing anymore. And same with this tiny gap, we're just going to drag this a bit, and then the gap's kind of gone. Okay, hang on, I think I'm just going to dismantle this a bit, because I think I've made this bit too big, and I'm just going to shrink it down a bit, and then I'm going to put this back on top, and then I'm just going to replace this again and replace this on top, and take this one and put it in here to fill the gap again. And we are back where we left off. So next we're going to take one of these again, and we are just going to rotate it so it's this way, and we are going to place this next to this step. We're going to place it up here. We're going to copy this. We're going to rotate this as well until it fits like that, and just make sure that's in place properly. Once again, if you've got a gap here, basically just fill it in. So I'm just going to kind of extend this and then move it into the gap, and there's no gap anymore. Now what you want to do is you just basically want to make steps all the way up to here by just copying the first one, just taking the top off, raising it a bit, and then putting it back on. This may take a few kind of tries because you may make all the steps up there and it won't actually reach the height, so you'll just need to go back through and kind of adjust the height for the steps again. But yeah, basically just try and make the steps quite even and make sure they reach the top of the wall. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to keep copying and placing next to it. As you can see, ours doesn't completely reach the top, so I'm just going to go back through and slightly adjust the height. Starting with the first step, I'm just going to make this a tiny bit higher and replace this again, and then I'm going to go back through all of them and try and make it a tiny bit higher. So now my stairs are even. I'm literally just going to quickly place 2 walls here, which is what was in my BLOXBURG house. There's like a wall here, and then I'm going to quickly go up here and I'm going to go into floors, and I'm going to just place a square of the floor here for now because we're going to be placing stuff on it. Also, the stairs don't exactly kind of line up with this, so if you want them to, basically what you can do is kind of just move them there, but you will have to edit this a bit, so I'll just show you that now. I'm going to move this so it lines up with the end properly, and then we're going to move the rest of them so they line up. And then you will get to here where you just kind of want to do the same thing. It might be a bit difficult though, and you might just kind of have to take everything out for a second and then put it back in. Same with the third step. Just want to move this and put this one back in, and then I'm just going to fit everything back together like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm going to place the third step back where it's meant to be, and there you go. It's now forward and lining up with the wall better. But on this example over here, I kind of had mine back into the wall, but the stairs will be bigger if you line it up properly. And now what I'm going to do is delete all the spare parts we have because the staircase bit is complete. So now I'm going to show you how to make the like railing, the banister, whatever you want to call it. The example over here is a bit messy. Now, if you look at the photo of mine that I posted, it's a bit neater, but basically it's going to take you a while to get this perfect, and you won't be able to even get it perfect. It will be slightly wonky in some places, and there's nothing you could do about that, but it doesn't look that bad, nor is it that noticeable. But it will be a real struggle to get all of these completely straight, but it doesn't look that bad. See, if I go far away, it's kind of fine. If you have decorations on your stairs, it'll look fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into basic shapes, and we're going to get the cube again, and we're going to start making our fence, because obviously you can't put fences on basic shapes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get the fence, the one I'm going to kind of copy, and place it next to it so I can kind of match the shape up. So now I'm going to edit the cube, and I'm just going to make it smaller and a bit flatter, make it into a little square, and this will be the base like this. You don't have to copy a fence, you can make up your own fence, but if you look at the photo I used, mine was quite similar to this, and this is what I based it off, so I'm just going to stick with this. For example, over here, mine has like a little elf statue on it, and basically I just like to have kind of little details on the end of them. So on the one in the picture, I used this little frog statue, and I just coloured it the same as the banister colour, and same with the elf, so you can use whatever you want, but we'll get to that in a minute. So next, I'm going to quickly paint this white, and then I'm going to copy it and place another one on top, and then I'm going to make this slightly smaller than the base, and then I'm just going to size this all the way up until it's roughly the same height. Then I'm going to copy it, I'm going to put this square on top, I'm just going to delete that, and then we can put like a detail on top. Now I'm just going to go in decorations and look for something that was kind of a nice shape that would go on top. One that's kind of cute is this ceramic bird, so I think that's what I'm going to use for this example. I'm going to paint it the same color and texture as the banister, and then I'm just going to kind of size it quite small. And what we're now going to do is we are going to move this, and we're going to place it on the first step, but leave a gap between the edges on both sides. And then we're just going to go along, and we're going to place another one here and just rotate that a bit so it fits. And we're going to delete the bird from this one though. We're going to do the same on this step here, and we're just going to rotate it so it lines up perfectly. And then we're going to copy the one with the bird on top, and we are going to place this just in between the like edge of the stairs and the floor. and just rotate it. I'm also going to quickly paint the floor the same texture as the stairs. And then for the third one, you want to take off the top and you want to make this slightly taller than the other ones, and then you just want to put the square back on top. Next, you want to go into structural, and then in the square beams, you want to grab the small square beam, put this on custom placement, and then over here on the first one, we're just going to place this kind of close to the bottom of it, just a bit higher up than the bottom, and then we're going to drag it onto the second one and make sure it's kind of straight, and then click place, and we're going to color this the same as the banister. Then we're going to place it quite close to the top, and we're just going to drag it up and match it with this one again, and then we're just going to do the same on this. So we're going to place it close to the bottom and then drag it so it's on this one, and then we're going to do the top again, and then for the third one we're going to do the same, but for this one you're going to have to kind of do it quite high up, so you're going to do it here, and then we're just going to drag this all the way to this one at the top. We're going to place this here, and then we're going to do the top on this one. We're going to drag this all the way up over here. We're going to place that, and there is the base for your banister or railing, whatever you want to call it. And now we're going to want to fill this in, so I'm going to just copy it again, and we're going to start from the bottom, and we're just going to kind of place this on the bottom, and you're going to drag it up to the top. And this is where it's difficult, because it is so difficult to make them completely straight that you're just going to have to try incredibly hard and spend quite a long time on just making sure they all line up perfectly. But you will not manage to get it perfect. Like I said, this is incredibly difficult, and even the one in my house is not completely perfect, but it still looks good. But just take your time and just go around and add all these little banister kind of beams. Those were incredibly rushed, so they're like really spaced out here and they don't line up at all, but I'm not going to spend ages on this when you've already seen what it looks like, so you can just go along and make sure yours is really neat and pretty. But that is basically the stairs done. I'm going to show you how I made the bookcase in the wall right now though, but for the stairs, that is just the stairs. Oh, also, you might have bits like that stick through the wall, and I'm going to tell you how you can like hide that. So if you look on the example I made, this is a basic shape, and it's just I'm using these to kind of hide the bits that are sticking through the wall. So basically what you want to do is you want to get a square and just turn it into this kind of long copy of the wall, and then you just want to use this to kind of go around and like hide the parts. So just completely cover them up and basically make a fake wall with the shape, so you can just kind of build behind it and no one will be able to tell that there's just this mess behind it. Anyway, on to the bookcase. So I'm going to copy these pillars because I like to place pillars in the corners, and I'm going to put them here, and I'm going to put them here. And then you want to go into storage and you want to scroll down until you find the traditional bookshelf, and just quickly place it on the wall and just take it off. We just need to make sure it lines up properly. And then I'm going to color this white, and basically now you want to put on any decorations you want on it, but I'm just not going to do that for the sake of the video. Next, what you want to do is you want to scroll down indoors and find the tall door frame and place this kind of in the middle here, and then you want to grab this on small placement and kind of just push it forwards until it matches up with the door. Click place, and there you have the bookcase. You may just want to neaten up the floor of the stair a bit so it kind of like doesn't have this messy bit, but what I did for this is I took another basic shape, and you can kind of place it down here and move it a bit so it kind of lines up with the kind of stair. And then what you can do is you can color this the same color as the stairs, and it kind of just blends in, like that kind of just fits. So there you have the bookcase built in, and that is how you make the custom stairs. Also up here, if you've placed this in the right place, you can grab a fence and you can literally, it just leads on from it, and it kind of works perfectly, so you don't have to continue doing the custom one. It's kind of complicated and kind of difficult, but there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want me to make any more tutorials on anything in my house, or you want to see a house tour, subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I upload. I actually have a house tour video coming out in a few hours, so stick around if you want to see that. But I love you all so much. Merry Christmas. Bye.